Habits are a core tenet of human behavior. They are a big part of who we are. What we do habitually makes up most of what we do. Nearly 70% of our waking behavior is made up of habitual behavior. Neuroplasticity is the process in which our nervous system changes in response to experience. It is about creating new neural circuits and pathways in which certain habits are formed. Habits are learned, and learning is neuroplasticity. A 2010 study found that it can take somewhere from 254 days for individuals to form a habit. The habit that they looked at was taking walks after dinner. They knew people formed the habit when they were doing it 85% of the time, and when the participants reported not having to spend too much mental effort to get into the mood to go for a walk. Forming a habit depends on how much conscious override is required to engage in that particular habit. A lot of habit formation has to do with the right state of mind and being able to control your state of body and mind. The goal of any habit is to get into a state where the nervous system performs the habit automatically. The strength of any habit relies on two things. The first is context dependence. Context dependence means that a habit is contingent on something for it to happen. Weaker habits that you are more likely to drop after a while form from this. The strongest habits are ones that are context independent, meaning you do them the same way at the same time, regardless of where you are. The second thing that determines the strength of a habit is how much conscious override is required to perform that habit on a regular basis. Basically, how much mental effort you exert to get into the mood to do the habit. Both of these things determine how deep or shallow a certain habit is embedded into our nervous system. How to form a habit. 1. Procedural memory visualization exercise. It is a mental exercise where you keep in your mind the specific sequence of things that need to happen in order for a particular outcome to occur. Think of it like sets and reps when working out. If you are interested in a particular activity and you want to turn it into a habit, visualize the very specific sequence of steps required to execute that activity. Visualizing the steps can shift people's mentality to a higher likelihood of performing that habit more regularly. 2. Task bracketing. This method is rooted in neural circuits, and understanding these circuits will help you develop or get back into habits easier, or it can break bad habits. There is an area in the brain called the basal ganglia, which are involved in action execution and action suppression. Task bracketing involves a set of neurocircuits within the basal ganglia. There is an area within the basal ganglia called the dorsolateral striatum, DLS. It is very important in the establishment of behaviors that are associated with a habit, though not with the habit itself. Studies done on the electrical activity of DLS find that it becomes more active at the beginning of a habit, and at the very end and after a particular habit, hence the name bracketing. DLS acts as a marker for habit execution, but not for the habit itself. Task bracketing is what underlies whether a certain habit will be context dependent or not, meaning it determines the strength of a habit. If the neural circuits for task bracketing are strong and robust, it means it is much more likely that we will do the habit no matter what. The habit becomes context independence. Task bracketing makes an imprint in your brain that this particular thing should be done at this particular time. It shifts your nervous system into the execution of a certain habit. When the DLS is engaged, your brain and body are primed to execute a habit. It is up to you what habit you want to perform. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more.